Please be seated. I would like to call this meeting to order and invite Council-elect Mayor Jaworski to read the acknowledgement.
We would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather today is the land traditionally used by the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Neutral people. We also acknowledge the enduring presence and deep traditional knowledge and philosophies of the Indigenous people with whom we share this land today. And I think their great treatment of Mother Earth is something that will come up in our council meetings in the future as we talk about the strategic plan and the work we have to do on the environment. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to invite now Cameron Donnelly to come up and sing O Canada. We could all please stand and face the flag.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Cameron. I would now invite Reverend Brooke Ashfield to come forward and do a moment of reflection. Please be seated.
Thank you so much. It is my honor to be here today. Your worship, councilors, honored guests, citizens, residents, former councilors, of whom I count 4, one of whom is serving as a regional councilor-elect, and Karen Redmond, regional chair-elect. All of you I want to acknowledge as well. I'm grateful to be here. It is a perilous time to reflect upon democratic institutions. It sometimes seems as if democracy and the environment are under attack, where people are assassinated while in the safety of their own country's embassy while seeking a permit to get married, where Statistics Canada last week reported an alarming increase in hate crimes in Canada in 2018 over 2017, with a particular mention of southwestern Ontario, where journalists are being increasingly murdered and portrayed as enemies of the people, where those who step forward as candidates for public office are often subject to rudeness, disrespect, denigration of their heritage, ethnicity, or sexual orientation or point of view, and where reasoned and careful diplomacy respecting others seems in short supply. My reflection today is that we need you. You have put yourselves forward as candidates to serve. You have knocked on the doors. You have not always been welcome. I can pretty well guarantee that. But you have persisted. You have stepped forward, and you are here today in this room where children who are remembering this in future years we are planting that seed. That public service is a noble offering. That putting our names forward and risking being denigrated is worth it to offer service and to make this world a better place. And so I say thank you to you who have served in the past, to you who have been elected and re-elected and are moving forward. The declaration of democracy is that all issues are local. You know this. There is no pothole too small or sidewalk too cleared of snow that you might not hear about it. Yet these are important concerns of real people. You are the front line of democracy, and it is our responsibility to support you while keeping you accountable. We live here, we care, we need wise leaders, and we've chosen you. May you find joy, peace, and hope in this noble service. It was my pleasure today to be with Piper Nigel Moore once again. Nigel served with the Waterloo Regional Police Service for many years, including the time when I was a police chaplain between 1992 and 2002. And as today, as with the police service, all people are equal under the law and in civic rights. The days of exclusive privilege for any religion or ethnic group are long gone as we live in a world, a beautiful world, a rainbow world of many colors, of many varieties of rich diversity. I am grateful for this opportunity to offer this reflection and wish you well as you serve with distinction. Thank you.
I will now ask all members of council to read their declaration of office, and if they could please stand and read their declaration of office together. Yes, please.
Not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true, and knowing that it's all same force and effect as if made under oath.
Thank you. Please be seated. I would now ask Mayor Jaworski to please meet me in the middle of the council chambers. And I'd like to introduce our new council for the City of Waterloo for the term 2018 to 2022. Another round of applause. Mayor Jaworski, you now have the chair, and the meeting is yours.
Well, thank you, Olga. Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure and privilege to deliver my second inaugural address as we begin the 2018 to 2022 council term. Thank you all for coming to witness the inauguration of the City of Waterloo Council. Before I begin, I would like to recognize and introduce a few people present in the council chambers this evening. Special thank you to Nigel Moore for piping us in this evening, and Cameron Barry for singing O Canada, adding to the pomp and splendor of the night. Thank you very much, Cameron. I know you did a great job. Oh, is it prayer? Okay. But before I continue on, I thought we were doing that after. So I would now, next is, okay. But let's take a break from all these warm introductions and invite up Minister Brooke Ashfield for the prayer of invocation.
This is my last set of words. They put me right at the front. And this is the first time this inauguration is happening with a prayer of invocation following a Supreme Court of Canada ruling in 2015 concerning prayer in municipal councils. I'm very well aware of that. And prayers of invocation are not to be exclusive. They are to be inclusive, and some say that is impossible. I am trying to do the impossible this evening. It is a long-standing tradition going back to the village of Waterloo for a prayer, and they would quite carefully in the old days choose between Protestant and Catholic, because there was not a lot of variety. You're either Protestant or Catholic, and thank goodness we have so much more diversity today. And I just want to say that in the Supreme Court's ruling in 2015, they said it is the state's duty to protect every person's freedom of conscience and religion. It is in this light I offer a prayer that is not the first meaning in the Oxford English Dictionary. The first meaning is a petition to a deity. The second meaning is a legal term, meaning a lawyer pleading on behalf of a client a prayer for relief of the court. And this time it is the court of public opinion and your indulgence tonight to have a non-specific prayer, but nevertheless allows each one in the stillness of our own hearts to plug in whatever our spirituality or lack of spirituality might be. Now, that's a rather long-winded introduction to what I hope is a short prayer. So this is an eyes-open prayer. You can keep your eyes open, or you can keep your eyes closed. We keep eyes open in our church when we pour the water for baptism because the kids are going to open their eyes anyway, so you might as well give them permission. So, we give thanks for the ability to gather, to work, to create a vibrant, inclusive community here. As an inclusive, affirming community, we honor the diversity of our city and of our world. Our city, our community is better when we include people of all ages, gender identities, racial and cultural backgrounds, and religious beliefs or viewpoints that reflect that there are no beliefs. We are inclusive of sexual orientations, abilities, economic circumstances, and family configurations. We seek to provide a safe place so that each person can bring every aspect of themselves into participation in this community. And so the invitation is there for us to accept or not, to join into the life, leadership, citizenship, and activism of this wonderful city of Waterloo. May each one of the leaders who have offered their solemn promise and declaration today find strength of character, wise insight, compassionate abilities to encounter stories differing substantially from their own as they faithfully execute the commitments made today. In silence, we wish these elected officials, mayor and councillors, good health and courageous hearts, empathetic listening, and far-sighted vision, insightful deliberations, and communal joy of leading good government for the benefit of all. We also acknowledge that we are a blessed community with riches of learning, prosperity, and heritage. And we know that the riches of our world are not fairly distributed, and that there are many, even here in our city, in need of housing, medical attention, psychological supports, and nutritious food. May we who are able seek to build upon the long heritage of compassion and community that defines our history and create common cause to work towards justice, fairness, and inclusion for all. So may this be in this community of ours, this city of Waterloo. Thank you.
Thank you all very much, and thank you for letting me continue on, because the next person to thank on my list is Reverend Brooke Ashfield. So thank you, Brooke, and also thanks to City Clerk Olga Smith for presiding over the ceremony. Special thank you to all our family and friends who have joined us this evening, along with the corporate management team along the side here. I would like to especially recognize some of the dignitaries who have joined us tonight, and some we're going to try to make it, may not be here yet. Karen Redmond, Chair-elect, Region of Waterloo. Welcome, Karen. Catherine McGarry, Mayor-elect, City of Cambridge. Sandy Shantz, Mayor-elect, Township of Woolwich. Sean Strickland, Councillor-elect, Region of Waterloo, and former City of Waterloo Councillor. Joan McKinnon, former Mayor of City of Waterloo. Melissa Durrell, Councillor, former Councillor, City of Waterloo. Wow, it's only been 3 days, and you're already looking younger, healthier, things are going great. Karen Coviello, former Councillor, City of Waterloo. And I've also spotted in the audience Jan Dai, former City of Waterloo Councillor. Ian McLean, former City of Waterloo Councillor, as well as Chair of, or CEO of the Chamber of Commerce. And former City of Waterloo Councillor and incoming Regional Councillor-elect, Jim Erb. Hello, Jim. And I think that's what I've spotted in the audience. It's kind of like romper room, trying to spot who's here and who's not. Thank you. So, it is hard to believe 4 years have already gone by since the 2014 inauguration. Time flies when you're having fun, and being mayor is the ultimate community role, followed closely by the councillor role, as you literally work on every aspect of your community. And I think I might have been channeling Brooke earlier. No pothole is too small and no crisis too large. Everything gets our attention. Serving as mayor of this great city is the best role and most demanding that I've ever had. I'm honored that citizens have confidence in my positive leadership and to continue on the work that has been started. Along with my council colleagues, we've had the opportunity to build on this positive momentum. Together, we make decisions that have a positive impact on our community. There are many different viewpoints in the community on any topic, and we will have a healthy, respectful dialogue as we build an inclusive Waterloo where everyone has a sense of belonging. I offer my thanks to the members of the council of last term, to those who have completed their time on council, Bob Maven, Brian Burke, Mark Whaley, and Melissa Durrell. Thank you for our service. Thank you for your service to the community. We are better for your efforts. To my 3 colleagues who are returning, Ansel Levith, Diane Freeman, and Jeff Henry, I'm looking forward to continuing our work together. And to our new colleagues, Sandra Hanmer, Royce Bodley, Jen Vasic, Tenille Bonagor, welcome. I'm looking forward to your fresh ideas and enthusiasm. Of course, all the magic that makes a city great happens through the team at the city. I'd like to thank the senior management team and staff for the support and guidance they have provided over the last 4 years. I'm looking forward to continuing on the success we've enjoyed as we embark on a new council term. In particular, I would like to thank the senior administration of the city for their support. Our Chief Administrative Officer, Tim Anderson, our Commissioner of Community Services, Mark Dykstra, our Commissioner of Corporate Services and our CFO, Keshwar Patel, and our Commissioner of Integrated Planning and Public Works and Deputy CAO, Cameron Rapp. Thank you all very much. On a personal note, I would like to thank my family, my 2 sons, Michael and Chris, and especially Jan, who not only supports me in this role, but patiently accepts the demands that comes with it. And, moreover, I support Jan in her entrepreneurial efforts and patiently accept the demands that come with that. And a special shout out to Jan's mom, who is, I think, my biggest supporter in the community. So thank you very much, Marie. Waterloo truly is Canada's education city, with 3 leading institutions, Wilfrid Laurier University, Conestoga College, and the University of Waterloo. They are literally surrounded by world-class research institutes, including the Centre for International Governance Innovation, the Balsillie School of International Affairs, the Schlegel Research Institute on Aging, and of course, the well-known Perimeter Institute. This is an innovative city, blessed with great talent and brilliant minds. We were reminded of that in October, when Donna Strickland of the University of Waterloo was awarded a Nobel Prize in Physics for her work in revolutionizing laser physics. Professor Strickland will receive the Nobel Prize on December 10th in Sweden. We are all proud of her achievement, and I bet you this is the only inaugural speech in Canada that has the words laser physics in it tonight, or ever. As I reflect on the last 4 years, I'm proud of the decisions of council and the accomplishments of staff. We were driven by a common objective, which is to continue to make the city of Waterloo the best place to live, work, learn, and play, and the new uptown streetscape personifies that objective. Many key projects were initiated in the 2014 term of council, yet will come to life thanks to this council. Council gave the green light to a new Centre for Older Adult Programs at the expanded Waterloo Memorial Rec Complex. Waterloo is a welcoming, age-friendly city, and this new facility will give new opportunities for all of us to age well and enjoy a healthy lifestyle. The long-desired East Side Library, Councillor Freeman's all excited. Oh, and Library Board Chair Karen is all excited. Was also approved and will be constructed at Rim Park, a great addition for families going to the Manulife Financial Sportsplex. We worked closely with the Library Board and negotiated a new sustainable funding agreement to ensure the success of all branches. To ensure we remain good stewards of tax dollars, we also created a Made in Waterloo asset management plan, which won several industry awards. This system will guide us as we develop a responsible, long-term financial plan this term of council. One of my favorite projects, as it will positively impact all citizens, was the development and approval of our new neighborhood strategy. Over 1,700 community members contributed during the consultation phase, a great success. Neighborhoods are the strength of our community. This council will decide how quickly we can move forward on this 18-point plan to build neighborliness in our community. Looking ahead, we will move forward on key opportunities and tackle emerging issues. I expect some, if not all, of these themes will emerge during our strategic planning in the first half in 2019. Prosperity and affordability are 2 sides of the same coin. While we focus on growing prosperity in our community, we must also turn our minds to the affordability of our city, especially along the housing continuum. Homelessness, supportive housing, affordable housing, starter homes, retirement housing. Inclusionary zoning and secondary suites are 2 of the tools that we can now use and promote to help make Waterloo affordable for all. Waterloo has a compact urban form, which means that active transportation is viable for many trips. Some might say all trips, Councillor Freeman. And Councillor Veith, who also walks here often. We're going to have a time when, I'm going off script here now, but we're going to have a time when all of us use active transportation to come to council this term. We'll do that in the summer. It's nicer that way. We made great strides completing complete streets featuring sidewalks, multi-use trails, and segregated bike lanes. Going forward, we have an opportunity to eliminate trail gaps and develop a safe, grid-like active transportation system that is well-signed, safe, and easy to use. Communication between the city and the residents is an area we are continually striving to improve. Last term, we introduced our first ever online public consultation platform so residents could weigh in on key issues from the comfort of their home. Now, along with our municipal neighbors, we've launched a new and improved Engage Waterloo portal. We want and need to hear from the community on issues, and that is a theme that will continue throughout this council term. For many years, the story of our local history started with the migration of Mennonites from Pennsylvania in the early 1800s. Today, however, we recognize that our history is much more deep and rich, thanks to our Indigenous roots. And our post-secondary schools are attracting Indigenous students from across Canada. The opening ceremonies of the 2018 powwow in Waterloo Park was incredibly well attended as an example of how we can begin to recognize the past, understand the present, and chart the future together. Creativity, arts, and culture are important for a vibrant community. Our new festival, Lumen, was an incredible success this year, and planning is well underway for the next one. Our investments in this area pay many dividends, such as growing local artists, attracting top talent, inspiring our youth, and plain old family fun. Waterloo Park is the jewel of our city, and our new Central Promenade has received many accolades. Yet some areas of the park need a bit of polish. Silver Lake is a prime example, along with the adjacent Lions Lagoon. The environmental assessment for Silver Lake is complete, with construction beginning soon. We can now prioritize the other initiatives in the capital plan. We are developing a community park strategy. Waterloo is a vibrant and active community, and we need to make sure that parks in neighborhoods in all wards can meet the needs of our residents. This can be accomplished by taking a strategic approach to our parks, the current condition, and the anticipated needs going forward. On the environmental front, we must invest in climate change adaptation while also fighting climate change. Waterloo is proud to commit to the 80% reduction target in greenhouse gases by 2050. While 2050 is a long time away, we cannot wait. We need to advance a plan to identify near-term opportunities. And I could go on for hours, but I hear you screaming for less. Good timing, perfect timing. And I could go on for hours. Local government impacts everything you see out your window or your windshield. We will surely work on 1,000 tasks in the coming term. I received a congratulatory phone call from the Prime Minister last week. I took the opportunity to brag about our great council that the citizens of Waterloo elected. Half of council has young kids at home. We have gender diversity, and the background experience of each councillor is inspiring and complementary. While we still have a gap in culture, it is our duty to represent the true culture of our community. I know we take that job seriously. I truly believe, and I've told the Prime Minister this, that I could have the best city council in Ontario, if not all of Canada. So thank you all. I look forward to moving Waterloo forward with everyone here today. To quote the late, great Stephen Hawking, the past, like the future, is indefinite and exists only as a spectrum of possibilities. Thank you. I would now like to invite comments from each of my councillors, and we will start around the horseshoe with Councillor Freeman. Or not.
It's okay, I thought it'd be last. I'm very thankful for the continued opportunity to work as the councillor for Ward 4 and more broadly the City of Waterloo. It's a huge privilege to work day in and day out with City Council, staff, and members of the community. And together we've achieved an impressive list of results. And I'm very thankful that I'm joined here today by some of my former colleagues, Ian McLean, Yon Dai, Karen Coviello, and Melissa Durrell. And it's hard to believe how much we've accomplished in the 12 years that I've sat around this table and the many years that you sat around the table before me. The improvements to our roads and sidewalks you mentioned, Mayor, bike trails, traffic calming installations, and we've, in my particular case, we finally advanced a design to construction for the East Side Library, and I'm really excited about that. And in addition, we've preserved the residential landscape of Colonial Acres, and I turn to our planning department and thank you for all the work you did in the comprehensive bylaw review and for helping to achieve those goals. A lot of times people say that citizens' voices aren't heard, but they are heard. It's just helping people to learn how to participate in our processes, and I think that's a great example. Over the past 12 years, I'm very thankful for the strong working relationships that I've been able to develop with residents in the ward and the relationships that I've created with local business leaders, the arts and culture community, and our education and research centers. I look forward over the next 4 years to continue to work hard on behalf of those that invested in my being here and voting, and to advance the construction alongside the library board of the East Side Library in Rim Park. There's so much exciting news happening in Ward 4, including hospice, and hopefully a new skate park and active recreation park. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what the next 4 years hold. And like the mayor, I'm really excited about working with all of our new members of council and working with those of us that have already forged some relationships together. And I really can't thank enough my family, and I see my employers here too, and I just know how much it takes to give up of my time and our time together to let me answer the phone calls and respond to the emails, maybe vent a little about the potholes and the broken sidewalks and fences. And I really thank you so much. My husband Peter knocked on almost every door at the same time as I did, and so I feel that he's earned this seat as much as I have with all of his work. And I'm very thankful to see that my niece and her son EJ are here tonight as well, and my birth mom and stepdad Dan. So thank you for all that you do to uplift me during my time on council. So with that, I'll pass it over to the next person. Councillor Royce Waterloo, please.
Testing, does this work? Yeah. This still feels very surreal for me, and so I have a bunch of people that I would like to thank, but I'm going to start out with a story, and I'm already crying. Yeah, thank you. It's going to be a while. Okay, so I was driving with my teenage daughter, and very uncharacteristically existential conversation that she was engaging me with, asking me what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be. And at some point she said, when I was a kid, what did I want to be? And I said, well, I always wanted to be Prime Minister. Maybe one day I'll take that, I'll give you that call, Dave. But she said to me in the way that perhaps only a teenager can say, well, just do it. Why don't you just be prime minister? And for all the million reasons that's crazy to think of, it really stuck with me, and it made me decide and give me that last little push over the edge to decide to try running for city council. So thank you, Oriana, for inspiring me, and this is all partially your fault. So I have a few people to thank. I want to thank all of the people in the community, the civic leaders, many of whom are around the horseshoe here today, who met with me prior to the campaign and offered some great encouragement. Your advice and knowledge were invaluable for me during the campaign, and I look forward to working with everyone to continue to make Waterloo an amazing place to live. And I would also like to thank my fellow candidates in Ward 2, John McCarthy, Shin Tan, and Janice Moore for a very hard-fought campaign. I have an amazing group of friends that offered me some unbelievable support, and I want to call out a few people. I'm going to start with the Ultimate Frisbee community in Waterloo. Yes, I am a part of that. If anybody would like to learn how to flick or hammer later, I can teach you. But thank you for helping me get my signatures to start with. And in particular, I want to thank my friend Natalie on my Frisbee team, who is very supportive in helping me go around talking to all the teams getting signatures for me. I want to thank my good friend who could not be here tonight, Mandy Dennison. She was a wealth of knowledge and support for me in providing me with feedback about the process and how things would work and introducing me to some people. I could not have done it without her. I would like to thank my friends Josh Martin, Sean and Tina Coughlin, and Matt Krushak for helping me knock on doors. And speaking of knocking on doors, I want to give a special thank you to Cashton, my son. Hey, buddy. Especially after breaking my ankle in the middle of the campaign. He was extraordinarily helpful in the few days when I was unable to walk around without crutches. So he dutifully carried my clipboard around with me for a few days, checking off the houses that we got to. So thank you, buddy. I couldn't have done it without you as well. And the rest of my family, my mom and dad, my mother-in-law Elise, her partner Mike, my father-in-law Greg, my brother-in-law Scott, my sister Jessica and her husband Nick, and everybody else in my family who has supported me throughout the years, who maybe couldn't knock on doors but offered their support, including my sister Katie, who is also here tonight. And my most active and most effective volunteer, sorry Greg, the smartest person I know and the love of my life, Jen Hayton. I know how far out of your comfort zone canvassing was for you, and I will be forever indebted to you, not just for this, but for all of your amazing love and support. And finally, to the residents of Ward 2, when I started this journey, I had no preconceived notions. I honestly had no idea what to expect. Knocking on doors is when I discovered the true amazing spirit of this community, and I could not believe how many of you welcomed me into your homes for tea, how many of you offered me a bottle of water in the sweltering heat in the middle of September, how many offered a moment of respite from the wind, hail, and cold in late October, and how many of you share my love for this city. And I appreciate and respect the trust that my fellow residents have given to me, and I promise to work very hard to validate that trust over the next 4 years on council. Thank you.
Thank you, future Prime Minister Royce Bodley. Next up, Councillor Tennille Bonagor.
All right. Thank you. Tonight, and I think the start of every new council, is a reminder of what is possible. It is possible for a city to be so radically welcoming that a newcomer gets involved, builds a life, and ends up running for office. It's possible for the arts, the economy, our neighbourhoods and our environment to thrive in equal measure. It is possible for us to build a future that has fairness and equity at its heart. But these things are only possible if we work together as a council and as a city. I look around this horseshoe tonight and I see so much potential, so much possibility, and I am deeply honoured to be part of this. For that, I would like to thank the voters of Ward 7 for turning out in such high numbers and for being so passionate about this city. I look forward to working with you and for you over the next 4 years. I would like to thank my campaign team, you are champions, and all of my friends and family who are maybe watching in Canada or are watching online in Australia. Hi, Mum and Dad. Hi, Suze. Your encouragement and support really means the world. But perhaps most of all, I would like to thank 5 people sitting over there, my husband, Tony, my daughters and my stepsons. Thank you for your support and deep, deep understanding from what we've just survived, for your jokes and for your hugs, and for being just crazy enough to go on this adventure with me. You make this possible. Thank you.
Now, in an earlier version of my speech, I did have the Grand Porch Party in it, but I figured since I had Perimeter Institute in there already, I figured there's too much for just one person there, so good for you. If you don't know, she's origin is the Grand Porch Party and works at Perimeter Institute. Next up, Councillor Angela Veith.
Thank you, Mayor Jaworski, and congratulations. My 5-page speech was last council meeting, so my comments are going to be very short. I would like to thank the citizens of Ward 3 for giving me the privilege to serve another term on City of Waterloo Council. And I want to thank my supportive husband, who's here tonight, and my son Kevin and his wife Jocelyn, and my youngest grandchild Nora. They're here tonight, so thank you for coming. And I look forward to continue working with this amazing staff at the city, with Mayor Jaworski and Diane and Jeff. And I'm really excited to begin a 4-year journey with my new colleagues on council, Sandra and Royce and Neil and Jen. So welcome aboard. And yeah, and I'm really looking forward to some exciting projects coming up. In Ward 3, we're looking forward to an action park up in the Heasley Park area. So yeah, it's going to be a new era, a new aura on council. And anyway, thank you, and congratulations to everyone around the horseshoe.
And next up, Sandra Hanmer, my ward councillor, which reminds me there's a pothole on Keats Way.
And leaves to match, I'm sure. Thank you, Mayor Jaworski, council colleagues, citizens, and staff of Waterloo. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. I am proud to be serving the residents of Ward 1, and more importantly, the citizens of Waterloo. Thank you for your support and trust. In all matters, family is everything. They are your greatest supporters and greatest critics, all at the same time. I am so very grateful and appreciative of the endless support and encouragement unconditionally given by my husband Greg, our daughters Caitlin, Sarah, Marin, and Paige, and our son-in-law-to-be Matt. Thank you for believing in me. A special thank you to my campaign team, such an incredible group of family and friends who spent countless hours walking the neighborhoods of Ward 1. I sincerely appreciate everything you have done for me. Thank you so very much. During the campaign, I heard lots of stories, suggestions, concerns, and ideas, all focused on keeping the city of Waterloo a great place to live and work. Smart growth, fiscal responsibility, and community connections were key themes from thousands of conversations. We are a growing city. Smart city growth will only be successful when we consider the needs of all residents, reflect the uniqueness of our neighborhoods as we've heard, integrate our transportation systems, both motorized and non-motorized, encourage business growth, and continue to foster the spirit of community. Tied to this smart growth, of course, is the importance of promoting green spaces, parks, recreational facilities, as well as arts and culture. As I look around the council table, I know that we will all work hard to ensure the decisions we make will reflect the needs and priorities of the citizens of Waterloo. Our Waterloo did not happen by accident. Thoughtful, hardworking, committed, imaginative people working together have made Waterloo what it is today. As your new council, we have the opportunity and the responsibility to learn from past accomplishments and, more importantly, build on the lessons learned to shape our future. Over the next 4 years, I'm looking forward to working collaboratively with you, Mayor, and my fellow councilors, staff, and citizens to further foster innovation, creativity, and the entrepreneurial spirit that defines our Waterloo. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Next up, Councillor Jeff Henry, please.
Thank you, Mayor, and appreciate the words of so many around the table. We're going to have, I know, a fantastic council and great debates and discussions about how we move the city forward. And I am pleased to share this horseshoe with all of you, hearing your dedication, your passion for the city, your perspectives on where you want to take us, and knowing that you will bring great ideas that are backed up by those thousands of conversations each of you have had with neighbors around the city. It is a great exercise every year, but particularly every 4 years, to be able to hear directly from so many people about issues that are big and issues that are small that will affect all of our lives. It's been certainly my honor and great pleasure to spend the last 8 years around this table working hard on behalf of the people of this community. This decision that I made this year to continue to serve was not an easy one. You wonder whether your energy is still high, your ideas are still fresh, and your time is best spent doing this rather than all the other things that are possible to move your own family forward and move your own life forward. But I knew after hearing from so many people, supporters and volunteers, both this year and in the past, and so many of the people I've come to work with around this table who encouraged me to continue this service, that the thought I gave it meant that this was the right place for me for the next 4 years, because there's so much more work we can do to build not just the prosperity that we have and that we're growing as a city, but to help make sure that that prosperity is truly shared and truly experienced by everyone in our community in a way that allows them to feel like they belong, can contribute, and help shape the future of the city so that it is their city too. And it isn't just a city they see other people with more time, more resources, more connections, and more history being able to enjoy. When I look at the people that have come with me here today, and I appreciate so much my parents for inspiring and instilling in me a sense that public service matters, and that it's really important to be able to help shape future generations in the places around you. I'm proud and pleased that my mother-in-law has been able to join me again here and at so many doors around Ward 6 in this campaign and every campaign. I can tell you when you tell folks at the doorstep that your mother-in-law is canvassing with you, they know that there's something a little bit different that's going on there. I couldn't have expected any better to being able to be part of your family and for you to be part of mine. And speaking of mine, Kate, I know this isn't the campaign we expected that we would run, if we would run it, and there's three of us now, as I like to say, and Joel, I think, might appreciate this. Our family certainly met its 50% intensification target this past year at home, and it's been a whirlwind. I know for everybody that has kids, you say things to people that don't have kids and you don't understand until you understand. it has been a heck of a year, and I've been as proud and privileged to know that you've been able to help us serve on the home front, even when we couldn't have you out at the doors every day. I know it meant a lot, and it was difficult to not be there every step of the way, because we have for 12 years. And more, every step of the way, from those first committee meetings where you and I were at the student level trying to fight the good fight, and you were trying to give me your best advice, and that's never stopped. And I listen more often than I don't, even if it doesn't always seem that way when I come back from a council meeting and the biggest debate happens at home that didn't happen around the council chambers. I appreciate every minute of that. Because you and I both know we have a lot of work to do, as I mentioned, around this community to ensure that the prosperity we're growing is shared. And I know with this team and with the ideas and with the support and engagement of a very vibrant community, we will have some great discussions ahead, and we can really continue to move this city forward. And I'm honored to still be here with you, with all of you, for these next 4 years. Let's get to it.
Next up, Councillor Jen Vasic.
Hello. Well, I'd like to start by thanking the former Councillor Mark Whaley, who has really demonstrated a commitment and love for this community. And oh, hey, Nicola. So I so appreciate having run a campaign alongside him, and that I felt like it was a really respectful and fun and challenging campaign where he really, I think, paved the way for that tone, and I so appreciate it. And he's also been extremely supportive as I move into this role, and so he doesn't have to be, and so I'd really like to mention that so everybody knows. And to the people in this room who have also met with me before I was thinking about doing the campaign. I hate crying. And throughout the campaign, who spoke with me about how to do this as well as I can, and what matters to the community, and how to try to be a good, brave, and courageous leader, which I hope that I can become, to volunteers who helped me in my campaign. And only one is here, but she was, and I've said this before, but I'm going to say it on the record, she was my everything, Sarah. Those who know me know I am not a linear thinker. And so Sarah helped me organize myself. She helped me bounce so many ideas. She allowed me to vent. She helped me with the big picture thinking. Like, she really is everything. So thank you, Sarah. And obviously to my family, who, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm the last one. So I wonder if we might be getting the party started soon. And my kid was already out there. So yeah, we have our priorities straight. But really, honestly, thank you to Matt and to Nicola, who just held down the fort and were patient with me and just let me go in and out whenever I felt like I needed to get to one more crescent the hour before it turned dark. And already to staff and other council who I have really enjoyed getting to meet and who clearly care and love about this community. And like staff, you really know your stuff. So I am so excited to learn from you. I have so much to learn. And I am humbled and I am honored, and I recognize the huge responsibility it is to represent people in this community. And I am an advocate at heart, and this chair is so comfortable, it almost makes me uncomfortable. And so easing into this role is going to be a challenge, but I am so grateful, and I hope that I can do it well, and thank you.
Well, during the campaign, I got to know everyone who's at the Horseshoe, and really had some great conversations with you. And I think to the people who are watching all the way from Australia, or the people in the audience here today, I think you now know why I think I could very well have the best city council in Canada. It's just... Not only that, we appear to have finished up in under an hour, so let that be another thing that we keep in mind as we go forward. And with that, I think we're adjourned. Don't need a motion. We're adjourned. Let's go, Jen.